Transmitting live from a tower atop the Taco Bell in Haddonfield, Illinois. This is the Robert Dyer Channel Halloween Countdown 2022. And now, a man who always eats a garlic burger before venturing into the Veros woods, Robert Dyer. Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer Channel Halloween Countdown, where tonight it is finally Halloween 2022. Happy Halloween, everyone. This is one of the greatest nights of the year and caps off the first part of what is really the most wonderful time of the year from October until December. But we have to finish off the Halloween countdown with a bang, and for that purpose I have here two competitors who are both offering a pumpkin sandwich cookie, a cream-filled sandwich cookie pumpkin, and they are Trader Joe's and Oreo. One is in a sturdy cardboard box and the other one in this flimsy package with the resealable top. One thing that I'll have to pay attention to in this review that's kind of hard to follow, but if we're believing what they say here, in the Oreo, the pumpkin flavor is in the cream filling. And they don't tell you what the cookie flavor is on there. And then here it's the opposite. Pumpkin flavored cookie, but they don't tell you what flavor the cream is, so we'll have to determine that with a taste test. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the packaging here. You can see obviously one is oriented vertically and the Oreos are horizontally. Okay, so here you have the famous Nabisco logo, and then here you have this rather appetizing thick slice of pumpkin pie, and then in relative terms this is kind of disappointing that you end up with this little cookie. But here in the rippled crust I find an odd addition. These sort of maple leaf garnishes that have been added. They're not really, there's no crust that looks like that. Why a maple leaf, and what does that have to do with pumpkin pie? I'm kind of suspicious Justin Trudeau had something to do with this. I guess the idea of the falling leaves of the season. And then up here you have some more faded leaves around the limited edition seal there. Here on the Trader Joe's box, everything is sort of a harvest theme, which is also another seasonal idea. And here I presume this gigantic moon is coming up as a harvest moon, coming up over the horizon on the farm here. And you see the fields are, I guess they're empty, everything's been harvested. You have the, I guess it's the barn, I don't know, quite a step up for the cattle there to get in. And then here you have some of the fruits of the harvest as well as the fruits of the Trader Joe's factory. And they add on a little pumpkin stem to the real cookie. They emphasize that pumpkin theme. And here is another field over here. I don't know where the farmer has gone to. And then here on the back of the Oreo package, at least they kept to the Halloween theme. I find these Halloween, what do they call them, spooky Halloween, there's no special flavor, it's just a food coloring. and maybe a different design on the cookie, but no flavor, unlike this package I have right here. And then you have the nutrition facts. Now you have a lot more to the package here on the Trader Joe's box. Ready the wheelbarrows and haul out the hay bales. The harvest has been bountiful. It's brought forth Trader Joe's pumpkin flavored JoJo's. Crispy pumpkin flavored cookies with cream filling sandwiched in between. Autumn never tasted so good. So they're at least giving you, they're making a little sales pitch here on the package, unlike the Oreo. You know, why do I want to buy this cookie? They never really told me on the Oreo package. But on here they've got a whole little narrative. And then on the back you have a different view. Here's the farmer's pickup truck. Has not been confiscated by the government yet, but it does appear to be a gas-guzzling pickup truck loaded with these state fair winning giant pumpkins. They're awaiting the arrival of the Ripley's Believe It or Not and the Guinness people. And here we've got more of these fake stems drawn on. And then you have the nutrition facts here. What I find interesting is that the Trader Joe's is kind of doing the Atkins thing. You have all these natural ingredients here, which does give you a little more potassium than the Oreos have. But, and you see it's product of Canada, but I notice like Atkins, you think of Trader Joe's as more of a save the planet, hipster, healthy kind of thing, but there's actually more sugar and more salt in the Trader Joe's cookie than there is in the Oreo. You think of the Oreo as the commercial junk food snack, and here, much like Atkins, it's unclear why do you really need to be on a diet if you can eat that much fat and that much salt? I think you're probably in much better health than the average person if you can handle all that. So kind of an Atkins vibe here. Okay, so here they are out of the package. You can see they are pretty much the same size in terms of the circumference. I think that the Trader Joe's is a little thicker, as far as I can tell. Either more cream filling or the cookies are slightly thicker as well. And they don't give their brand name a plug on the cookie part either. And you have holes drilled through, unlike the Oreo. Now let's see what's inside. So interestingly, even though Trader Joe's on the right says it's the cookie that's pumpkin, the cream filling still has an orange tint to it. And then over here on the left, the Oreo, wow, look at that very pumpkin pie looking cream filling there. It almost looks like you scooped that out of a slice of pumpkin pie, even down to the texture, the moisture appearance, even though it's just a cream filling like always. But so I have to say that visually there's a lot more pumpkin aesthetic in the Oreo. And Looks like there may be more cream filling as well. It was somewhat deceptive looking from the outside. So I'm guessing it's the cookies that are thicker on the Trader Joe's here on the right. But cream filling is definitely a little more generous in the Oreo. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you're not going to find another video this thorough of a test of an Oreo cookie, I doubt, on YouTube. But first we're going to try the cookie part and see which one is better, and then the cream filling, and finally the cookie assembled together the way it's supposed to be. So because they say the cookie is pumpkin on Trader Joe's, I'm going to try the possibly milder flavor Oreo cookie first. Well, it's not really vanilla, but not that much flavor to it compared to a chocolate Oreo. Now I'll try the Trader Joe's cookie part. Well, it's definitely a pumpkin pie flavor in that. A lot more flavor than the Oreo cookie, which is just a very generic thing. Now we'll try the Trader Joe's filling first, since there'll be less spice, I assume, to throw off my taste buds. It's a little more dense than the Oreo filling, but tastes pretty much like, I think it's getting some flavor soaked into it from the cookie part, because there is a hint of pumpkin flavor in the cream filling. We'll see now with the Oreo filling. Well, it's interesting that everything is about a pumpkin pie on the package and the color and everything, but it really tastes more like a pumpkin frosting, and the spice is not that much. It's more pumpkin than spice compared to what you usually expect with a pumpkin spice brand. Now let's go ahead and try it all together as a sandwich cookie. I noticed the filling is a little smoother in the Trader Joe's, whereas the Oreo has that trademark sugar crystal texture to it. Now let's try the pumpkin spice Oreo as a sandwich. Just when you thought it was safe to get back in bed, it's time for Spooky News. Live from the Charles Manson Institute for Strategic Studies in Huber Heights, Ohio. I'm your host, TarnationBob. Today's chilling report comes from intelligence documents that were uploaded and then quickly removed from the internet by the U.S. government. These briefly declassified documents tell the story, or what is known of the story, of Project Vampire Storm. During the 1930s and 40s, elite German teams were scouring the globe for artifacts, mythological, archaeological, and supernatural prizes that would deliver a victory in the war. One lesser-known initiative was Project Vampire Storm. In 1944, German officer Ilse Hofstein managed to locate the secret location of Count Dracula in Transylvania. She returned to Berlin with a vial of Dracula's blood he donated voluntarily as he too sought world domination. German scientists quickly converted this into a serum. 9 elite German officers were injected with the serum, which fused their already superior skills with vampire powers, but also vampire appetites. When the project was presented to the leader of Germany, he rejected it immediately, realizing that not even Germany would be safe from a worldwide epidemic of vampirism. Besides, he said, we don't need it. Steiner will attack. He ordered the vampire super soldiers to be cryogenically frozen in an underground base. Of course, Steiner did not attack, and the war was lost. So were the frozen vampires, depending if they were lost or spirited out by one of the Allies. Intelligence sources suggest 3 possible locations of these vampires in suspended animation. An underground atomic test site in Austria, which has yet to be fully explored. An underground base underneath the Denver airport, and a secret Soviet base underneath Bakalava in Crimea. Where are they? Who controls them? Will the future forecast include a vampire storm? Are your windows shut tight? Are your doors locked? If not, you just might be the next story on Spooky News. Good night. I would say the winner of the pumpkin flavor in this situation was definitely Trader Joe's. They did not have the aesthetics down like the Oreo in terms of the color and the appearance of the filling and everything. It seems like, as you might expect when it comes to cooking and food preparation, that when you stick to real ingredients, it really makes a world of difference. Whereas this is in that sort of natural flavor world, and you wonder, what are the natural flavors? But on this box, you see it says pumpkin puree, pumpkin powder, so you're getting actual pumpkin in these cookies, and the flavor really comes out of. Ironically, they push the pumpkin pie big time on the Oreo package. They didn't say a word about that on here, but this actually tastes a lot like pumpkin pie, but the Oreo does not. What the Oreo does well is, I guess, a little Monsanto special. It doesn't tell you what, but it says it has to disclose on the package they've used a bioengineered ingredient in this. And then here you also have high fructose corn syrup, which is a very controversial ingredient, particularly in other parts of the world. And what I find interesting is that the Trader Joe's cookie has a lot more flavor of pumpkin in it. And at the same time, the Oreo, it seems to, I want to eat more of the Oreos, and I wonder, is it some of those ingredients that they tell us are frankly addictive or geared to, they know what the brain wants, in other words. That's something they don't have in this all-natural Trader Joe's cookie. If you want pumpkin and you want pumpkin pie, then I would say definitely get the Trader Joe's pumpkin flavored JoJo's. Having said that, this is the cookie that I think would be very good with the Halloween movies. It is giving you a vaguely pumpkin flavor, definitely a pumpkin flavor, just not as strong and not much spice either. So it's just and it has less sugar than Trader Joe's, but Trader Joe's has cane sugar, not high fructose corn syrup, so there may be something to that whole thing, I suspect, as to why I feel like the Oreo is the more addictive of the two. So for the all-around rating, that while I'm giving the pumpkin spice Oreo a very solid 4 stars as an all-around cookie, but I have to give the Trader Joe's cookie 5 stars because it really delivered what it promised. Whereas the Oreo, you got definitely pumpkin, but you didn't get pumpkin spice that much, and you didn't get a pumpkin pie flavor like they showed on the front, and you didn't get as creative of packaging as it is. I mean, I can practically start writing a whole story about what's happened on the farm here just from these evocative images. So that's really impressive in itself. So I'm going to say both of these are worth getting depending what's closer to you at the grocery store. But if you have the option of both and you are concerned most of all about pumpkin flavor, as well as I point out the cookie is a little bit, still plenty crunchy, but it's not quite of a snap. It's not quite as brittle as the Oreo, and therefore it seems a little more fresh as well. So I'm going to say 4 stars out of 5 for the Oreo, 5 stars out of 5 for the Trader Joe's, and that's the one to pick up if you have the option of both. So I want to thank each and every one of you who's tuned in during the Halloween countdown, whether it was just this video or all of them. I appreciate the loyal support. I thank God that we're all here again to be together on the Halloween countdown this year. So I hope you like this video, share it with your friends, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.